This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some major updates to share with you. President Biden was just asked the question, are we going to have a recession? I'll play the video clip response of what he said. Nancy Pelosi makes some bold claims of what is going to happen before the midterms. You don't want to miss what she says there. We'll also go over the $800 stimulus check deadline, how you have to apply for it soon. Also, the $2,000 stimulus check and the $1,000 monthly checks going out. Plus, they'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers. I'm picking the winners tomorrow. I think I might have confused the dates yesterday, but I'm picking the winners tomorrow, the 26th, so you still have some time to sign up if you haven't already. Details of how you can do so down in the description below. Let's get into it. So Biden says a recession isn't a given, but the rest of the recovery is going to be a haul. So here is a question. When President Biden was asked, are we going to have a recession? Take a look at his response right here.
Should Americans be prepared for a recession? In your view, is a recession in the United States inevitable?
No.
Why not?
Here's the situation. And when it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, will be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over. We also find ourselves in a situation where we have food shortages. Food shortages because of Ukraine. There are literally millions of bushels of of grain being held up in Ukraine that would fundamentally impact positively on the market in terms of bringing down food prices across the board. So we're finding ourselves in a position where we're working very hard with American farmers and American agricultural products to provide more fertilizer and a whole range of things. This is going to be a haul. This is going to take some time.
So what do you think? Do you think we're going to have a recession? Can President Biden be doing a better job? Is he doing a good enough job avoiding that? A lot of financial institutions say that a recession might come in 2023 based on how everything is going now. But let me know your thoughts on what's going on there. Next, let's get into other news here. So Democrats set to blow through key date for moving Biden's agenda. So Memorial Day, May 30th, that was supposed to be when the Democrats were going to pass their next huge bill, the Build Back Better, or a version of it, Building a Better America. And we are just less than a week away from that, and it doesn't seem like it is going to happen. So big promises were made. It's not going to be good for the Democrats coming up into the midterm election, but what can the Democrats do to turn everything around? We have high gas prices, high food prices, a lot of other issues going on. Here's Nancy Pelosi talking about what can be done and what should be done before the midterm elections. Take a look.
Hi, Willie.
Good morning, Speaker Pelosi. Thanks for being with us this morning. I know you well enough to know you won't entertain a hypothetical about losing the House, but let me ask you about some of the headwinds that you're facing right now, which is inflation at 8.5%, gas around $5 a gallon for some people out in this country. Our recent NBC poll showed President Biden with a 39% approval rating and 75%, 3 out of 4 Americans believing we're on the wrong track, How do you overcome that when the country, it looks like, says Democratic president, Democratic Congress, and I don't like where we're headed?
Well, we've faced some of that before, and we have been successful. But let me just you mentioned 2 statistics. Let me mention 2 more. And what we've seen even this morning, that nearly 70% of the American people now say they could withstand a $400 emergency. That's almost a reverse of what we had a couple of years ago. Another figure is that higher than that, into the 70s, the American people have said they have a comfort level with their economic situation. Now, let's get to your point about some of the, shall we say, I don't know what's in Washington, D.C. So, well, history says, well, we're not talking about history. We're talking about the future. History said the president loses seats after in the off year. Well, the president gained seats in the on year. This president did not, but he won the election. He helped us hold the House. We helped him win the election. And those of our candidates or our members who won in with Trump on the ballot and won in the Trump districts are in pretty strong shape, but we want more. We want more. We have to offset some changes, but we want more. I feel I have absolutely no intention of us losing this election. We'll win it one election at a time. We own the ground with our mobilization. We'll have a non-menacing message that is progressive and bold, but non-menacing, and we'll have the money to do so. They'll have endless money. We'll have enough, and we will win. And it's absolutely essential for our country. Our democracy is on the ballot. Our freedom is on the ballot. But to get to your point, the kitchen table, but we talked about the kitchen table issues. In terms of inflation, so much is being done by this president. And we have to make sure that public sentiment understands that. Inflation is a global phenomenon right now. In fact, in the UK, it's around 10%. So that doesn't make it any better for us. What are the things we are doing to reduce the global inflation and what that means to us? We are in the works now of our Competes Act to address the supply chain. Supply is down, therefore prices are up. We're in there we just passed the other day 2 bills in terms of price gouging and market manipulation, bring down the cost of price at the pump. And that has something to do with the war in Ukraine, but not everything, but a good deal of it. We're also working on reducing the cost of food for people because of the exploitation, again, of the consumer by some in the agriculture industry. Okay, but over and above all of that, understand this. Unemployment, President created almost 8 million jobs. When unemployment unemployment was cut in half. When unemployment goes down, inflation has gone up. So and wages have gone up, and that contributes to inflation. We want unemployment down, we want wages up, and we have to address the inflation issue, but we are.
So, and Americans need to see those changes. They need to, so that those numbers go down. I want to ask you about, while you're in town, the Global Citizen Urgency of Now Summit. Just really quickly, though, on this point, Democrats are going to be campaigning toward the midterms during very turbulent economic times. Some of the things that might be happening that may drive numbers up, they may have no control over. There could be a food crisis. There's things happening around the world that could impact the economy. So, the baby formula crisis. This, to me, seems unforced as an error, and it may be pushed back if you want. Was there a failure to communicate at the highest level, a failure to prognosticate? And are there ways in which legislation can be passed so this doesn't happen again?
Well, there has to be. Tomorrow, the Appropriations Committee under the leadership of Rosa DeLauro will be having a hearing into how we got to this place. So will the Energy and Commerce Committee under Mr. Pallone, Chairman Pallone. And so we're coming at it a couple different ways. But let me also just say this. You see the chairman of or whether it's CEO, I don't know if he's chairman, of Abbott apologizing for that. We have to find out. I mean, look, a mother of 5, a baby cries, we don't have food, come on.
That's
just
as bad as it gets.
That's as bad. It hits his home as deeply as possible. But we did pass last week 2 bills, one that overwhelmingly passed bipartisan in terms of, setting us on a course so that it cannot happen again. But the other, to have the money, 20-some million, with an M, $million, to help facilitate baby food formula getting to families, and the Republicans all voted against it. How do you vote against some $1 million for baby food formula? How do you do that?
I don't get it.
But consistent. When we did the bill to reduce from $300 to $600 per month for insulin, only 12 Republicans in the House voted for the bill.
Do you agree or disagree with Nancy Pelosi? She has made a lot of promises over the past year, as have many politicians, but in terms of Build Back Better and what people were expected to get in stimulus provisions, looks like that kind of fizzled out. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, let's get into stimulus check news. So, stimulus checks for Pennsylvanians. Here's where Governor Tom Wolf's push for $2,000 direct payment stands. So, what Tom Wolf, governor of Pennsylvania, said, Pennsylvanians Pennsylvanians should not have to choose between paying utilities or groceries, childcare or gas. We have the opportunity and the means to ensure they're not struggling, to ensure their success. I'm asking the General Assembly to unite across aisles on this for the sake of every Pennsylvanian, for when they succeed, our Commonwealth succeeds. Let's get this money out of our coffers and into the pockets of Pennsylvanians. So basically, for anyone making less than 80 or less than 50,000 in Pennsylvania, you get $2,000. 50 to 80,000, you get $1,500. Huge checks. Where does it stand? Well, as a lot of stimulus proposals, whether federal or state, it's still stuck in the legislation phase. But I'll keep you updated on that. Stimulus, claim up to $800. Apply now before it's too late. So this is going on in Colorado. So Colorado taxpayers, it is $400 for individuals, $800 for couples, and you have until May 31st to file your taxes if you want to claim the $400 to $800 stimulus. So be aware of that deadline coming up soon. And then let this load. All right, so update. GOP says state can do better than Whitmer's proposed $500 tax rebates for working families. So this is going on in Michigan. The Governor Whitmer proposed $500 tax rebates. The GOP, or the Republicans in Michigan, don't think that's a good idea, but Whitmer and the Democrats do. So that's still in legislation, kind of going back and forth there. And then second round of $500 checks going out to Massachusetts workers. Find out if you are eligible. So this is going kind of like a hazard pay or essential workers pay type of thing, coming out of the Essential Employee Premium Pay Program. And this was passed by Massachusetts legislator and signed by the governor. And yeah, this is second round of $500 checks going out. Some qualifications based on your 2021 Massachusetts tax returns. $500 checks there. And then the latest guaranteed income program stimulus check update. 150 families will receive $1,000 monthly payments. So this is going on in Alameda City in California. They passed this, and over 11,000 residents are eligible, but they're only going to pick 150 of them, and they're going to get $1,000 checks per month over 24 months. So that's in Alameda, California. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella's tip of the day. I want to tell you that you could be anything that you want in the world. You could be, for example, you could be a veterinarian, take care of dogs, help dogs, or you could be a nurse. And you could help people, or you could be a doctor, or you could be like anything, as you want. You are your own self. You could be whatever you want when you get older. If you're older. Bye, that was Bella's tip of the day.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support and your time. Don't forget, I am picking the winners tomorrow, May 26th, for the $200 checks. You still have some time to apply if you haven't already. Details down in the description below. And I'm probably going to go do some scootering with my 3-year-old daughter, Kalea. She loves her scooter, loves to ride around everywhere. So favorite thing to do is we just kind of walk. I walk and we scooter, and I have a handful of grapes. And then she'll scooter up and then back, eat a grape, and then as we're going down the sidewalk. It's pretty cool. But anyways, if you want to check out my latest video on my other channel, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.